Page 10 of the IBIS reports are basically the idea of selling your home. Now, I know most people who are looking into this really don't want to sell their home. That's not their goal. However, it's things you've got to think about when you're looking at this loan, depending on where you live. If you're up here in the Northeast where I'm at in Massachusetts, you got to plan on what you're going to be doing for the next 20 to 30 years of your life. How long can you shovel the snow? How long can you cut the grass? You've got a big house. Do you have rooms that you don't go in anymore? But you still have to heat them. You still have to cool them. You still have to pay taxes on them. Some people have an entire second floor that they don't use. They live on their first floor. Or if you live on a house that has 2 floors, can you live on the first floor if you need to? These are things that you must think about ahead of time. Because if you don't, you're going to be getting into this loan and find yourself in a position where you have to sell the house having used a significant portion of your equity up. When I do counseling, one of the things I ask everybody to produce for me when I do counseling is a budget. The reason I ask for a budget isn't because I want to look into your finances and I really want to pry under your hood. I look into your budget because I want to look at it and say, is this going to be a sustainable choice? Are you going to be able to live the rest of your life on the money coming in from the reverse mortgage and whatever else you have coming in? For a lot of people, that's not a problem. But I've run into a lot of people who have basic Social Security and are trying to use a reverse mortgage thinking they're going to live there the rest of their life. I got to tell you, it's not going to happen. Unless you're, at least not in an area like Massachusetts where it's an expensive place to live. So you've got to look at this, can I live there the rest of my life? Because these are not what I would call short-term loans. You don't want to use up all the equity and then find yourself with no choice but looking to live in public housing. This is not the best way that you want to handle things. So people say then, okay, if I sell my house, what do I do, Frank? Well, let me put it this way. You have a lot of choices when it comes to these loans. And selling your house is one of them. If you sell your house and you go to decide either to rent or buy, it gives you choices. Now here in Massachusetts, because our rentals right now in the Boston area especially are way out of whack, I would generally suggest to people buying a condo is a lot better than choosing an apartment. However, when I say condo, everybody gets this immediate impression of a glorified apartment building. That's only one type of condo. You can find condos that are, instead of an apartment building, they're like a row house or a townhouse style. You can find condos that are single family homes. Somebody else takes care of the outside. All you're worried about taking care of is the inside. These are things that I think you should think about a long time before taking a reverse mortgage, is how long can you do this? Because you're making plans for the next 20 to 30 years. And yes, there are people that are going to tell me, no, I'm not going to live another 20 or 30 years. Yeah, you say that now, but I'll tell you this, when you look at it, God may give you the choice of living that long. God may add to it just to make life a little strange for you. Don't count things out until they happen. Make the plans to live forever, because if you plan to live forever, you can maybe make it. If you don't plan to live forever, there's no way you're going to make it unless God wants to make your life really strange. Now, I want to bring up another thought when you're looking at the idea of selling your home. There's a little known program called a reverse mortgage to purchase. The idea behind the HECM for Purchase program is it allows someone to sell a house that's a very large house that they no longer need. Perhaps, so you sell your house, you're out of it. For a moment, maybe you're living with a child or a friend for a little bit, and then you look to purchasing a smaller place or a small condo. This way you can reduce your footprint, reduce your taxes, reduce all of your bills, and still have a place that's yours to live in. The way a reverse mortgage to purchase works is, say you put down $100,000. Approximately, again depending on age, where you buy, etc., approximately the reverse mortgage to purchase is going to provide $50,000 to match your 100. That means if you put 100,000 down, you've got 150,000 in purchasing power. You put $200,000 down, you can buy a $300,000 property. It gives you a lot of flexibility in how you're looking at things and what you're planning to do. So I really tell people, don't put the reverse mortgage to purchase thought out of your head. I always recommend take some time and look around. See what's out there. When you're looking at a reverse mortgage, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. Look around, take a weekend, go to some open houses, see what's going on in those open houses. Can you live in this type of condo, or do you need another type of condo? If you don't look, you'll never know. And one of the most important parts about counseling is not to tell you what to do, it's to give you some ideas. So again, they're ideas, I'm not telling you what to do. Think about it. Ultimately, in the end, what makes a reverse mortgage such a valuable item is it is your choice. It is not somebody else's. You have to make the choice, but then on the other hand, you have to live with the choice you make. Keep that in mind. I have a couple final thoughts I'll make in my final program for the reverse mortgages.